Don't necessarily quote me on this, but I know that I heard at a VMworld that the number of servers that are virtual actually surpass the number of servers that are physical at some point during the year of 2012. Now, like I say, don't quote me on that because I know I just heard that from somebody, never really verified it. I don't know how you would verify that. But the point is that virtual machines are not a fad, they're not going away. So they'd better have ways of being able to relate to the physical environment. In other words, when we set up these vSphere environments, there better be ways that we can filter traffic in and out of them and tag traffic as needed. And there are. And that's what we're going to look at now. So as you know, it's the uplinks that are actually the connectors back out to the physical environment. So if I'm going to configure traffic filtering and marking, then I would do that at the uplinks. So I'm going to click on this uplink for this example, and I'm going to go to its policies section, and notice that traffic filtering and marking is disabled. Well, we're going to fix that. I'm going to click on Edit and go to Traffic Filtering and Marking, and I'm going to enable it. And then I'm going to click on Plus. Now, what you can do is make an ordered set of rules. And this is more of an art than it is a science, although there is a lot of science to it. So in this rule, which I'll just leave as Network Traffic Rule 1, we could apply a tag, we could apply an allow, or a drop. Let's take a look at the allow and drop first, and then we'll come back to tag. If I said allow, then what I'm doing is I am explicitly allowing certain types of traffic. And if I start applying allows, that means that only what's allowed is going to be able to come through that link. And when I say come through, it depends on whether you're applying it as ingress and egress, which is inbound is ingress, okay, egress is outbound traffic. So I can apply it as ingress and egress, or ingress or egress. And then what can I do as far as qualifying the traffic? Well, if I click on the plus sign, you can see that I could set a system traffic qualifier, a MAC qualifier, or an IP qualifier. So if I said system traffic, what does that mean? Well, it's kind of like QoS, where it's identifying traffic, but it's not identifying it by protocol. It's identifying it by VMware type of traffic, fault tolerance traffic, or management, or virtual SAN, or iSCSI, or vMotion. And I can say is or is not. So, as you can see, there's a lot of combinations that I can put together there. And that's just for system type of traffic. I could say a new MAC qualifier. I could use a protocol type, VLAN ID, source MAC address, and enter a source MAC address, destination MAC address, enter one. Okay, or an IP qualifier. And I could do that IPv6. I could specify certain TCP and UDP protocols. So as you can see, there are a myriad of options here. Basically what you've got is access list type of capability for the vSphere environment, for what comes in and out of this particular uplink. But we're not done. Now let's take a look at tag. In regards to tag, we can tag class of service. You may recognize that as something with your Cisco gear or HP, where you've got a class of service identified at layer 2 for best effort delivery. And the class of service has a value that goes from 0 to 7. And this is to match up with what else you have that's connected physically to this. Or the DSCP, Differentiated Services Code Point. What is that? Goes along with QoS, with quality of service. And that minimum is 0, maximum is 63, and you've probably seen that in your environment as well. The funny thing is, VMware and vSphere don't use COS or DSCP values. So what's the point in putting them on there? Well, it's so that as the traffic goes out to the physical environment, it'll be treated properly because it's already got the right tag on it. So again, it's the vSphere environment relating to the physical environment and what else you have out there in your organization. So with this traffic filtering and marking, you've got a lot more options in regards to what you can do. And you can set this for each of your uplinks. So I think you can imagine what you might do in regards to this. And I would just spend some time understanding what's possible for real life as well as for any upcoming tests. So as you can see, there's lots of things to configure. And once you get one switch configured, once you get one vSphere distributed switch configured, then you may not want to have to go through all that configuration again to put a similar switch or an exactly same switch in another environment. Plus, you may want to have a copy of that configuration, so just in case something happens, somebody changes something they shouldn't have, you have a problem, then you have a copy of that and you can restore the configuration. So next, and last but not least, in our discussion of new networking for vSphere distributed switches, we'll talk about exporting and restoring configuration. That's next.